Cape Town, the most beautiful city on earth, and not just because the seagulls want to poop on me, but also because look at that, the ocean, the mountains. It's no wonder that the biggest sporting events want to come to Cape Town. We've got rugby sevens, international rugby, cricket, soccer, international everything comes to Cape Town. So why not international motorsport? And the man responsible for bringing Formula E to Cape Town, one of the co-founders of Laureus International, is Mr. Iain Banner. He's the chairman of E-Mobility South Africa, and he happens to be rocking up in this BMW iX xDrive 50. The chairman of E-Mobility and the man responsible for bringing Formula E to Cape Town, the one and only Mr. Iain Banner. We're going to hop in the car with Iain and find out more, not only about Mr. Iain Banner himself, but also about the E-movement and bringing E-Mobility to South Africa, Formula E. Let's hop in and take a drive with Iain Banner. How's it, Iain?
Righto. Hi, buddy.
I've known you for donkey's years, and I know that your passion for South African and for South African sport is huge. Hence, one of the founders of Laureus and the foundation that does sport for good globally. Talk to us about the beginning, the very beginning. Are you born and bred Cape Townian?
Very much so, yes. Well, no, that's not true.
Right.
My friends love to say I'm a Transvaaler, a Gautie, because I was born then. I came to Cape Town at the age of 6.
You've been here long enough.
Since the age of 6,
Absolutely.
I was here. And had my schooling at SACS, and I went to UCT for a period, and then from there I went on into other parts of the world, but came back 15 years ago because this is where my heart lives.
Absolutely. An entrepreneur at heart. I mean, you've built businesses, you've had an opportunity to globally make a success out of yourself. And I think of all the brands that are close to my heart as a motoring enthusiast. I think of Formula One as a brand. You've been instrumental in building Formula One as a global brand around the marketing idea of and the success of where we've seen it go today. And you've brought that success over into the E market. Formula E's had huge success, and you were one of the first to say in South Africa, I want to bring this to Cape Town.
So it's quite interesting. I mean, you spoke of me arriving in an E-vehicle. On a whim, 4 years ago, I walked in. In fact, I'd driven my nephew to his matric dance in a borrowed 750i BMW.
Right.
Which I had to return to Auric BM, my friend Eric's business. He's my neighbor. And on returning it, I saw this little sardine can that looked a bit strange, but the guy said, you want to try it, test it. And I'd looked at all the other lovely cars, and I thought, well, why not have a little run? 200 meters later, I bought the car. And I mean that. I am impulsive, but this experience immediately, the unbelievable torque, the fact that it was sustainable, it was the future, etc. It convinced me that EVs were the way to go. And then 2 years ago, my business partner, Bruce Forsyth, and I were chatting about the opportunity, big global opportunities for South Africa.
Yes.
And we said, you know what, the future around Formula E is very, very big. They've got over their hump. Like any big sporting franchise, when you start it, it takes 3 or 4 years for naysayers to be taken aside.
Right.
And for you to get the commercial backing, you need to really be successful. And we embarked on it, and we said, let's give this a go.
And so here we are with the recent reveal in terms of the track for Cape Town. It is so exciting because you've incorporated parts of the city which are dear to us as Cape Townians. Also an opportunity for fans to get as close as possible to Formula E.
Well, absolutely. And, you know, for years, I think people have been crying out for open wheel racing.
Yeah.
Wherever in the country. But of course, no finer place if you're going to have a street circuit in Cape Town. And the precinct that's been created in Cape Town is amazing. Stadium in the middle, all the sports grounds around it, athletics track right there, beautiful parks, the golf course, etc. It is unique.
It is.
And it's bordered, metaphorically, by Robben Island on the one end, anchored, I should say, by that, and by Table Mountain and by Lion's Head. So it's a fantastic setup. But starting something like this is a journey. And so I traveled over to London, met with Alberto Longo, who's the co-founder of the series. And I said to him, Alberto, after chatting about a potential deal, I said, I promise you we're going to bring you a top 3 race. Stuck my neck out. Top 3 on the calendar, why not?
Sure.
The environment like this, you know, it's city racing, but at the same time, it's beauty. It's major beauty. And I realized quite quickly that that we we needed to do more than just race.
Sure.
So we came up with the concept of an E-Fest. And the E-Fest is the week prior to the race. The race is a celebration at the end.
Brilliant.
And before that, we are going to stage 3 days of a festival of E. And that's going to be everything you can imagine, from OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, motor cars, to one-wheelers, to bicycles, to scooters. I'd like to see a plane and a boat that are powered by E on show. Then the charging solutions, showcasing to the public, how do these things actually operate? How do they work?
Yeah.
E-gaming, which is such a big hit with the young generation. And it's, by the way, one of the reasons why Formula E is so popular amongst young people.
Yeah.
And so we came up with this concept, and then we said, yeah, that's great. That's going to engage the public. It's going to be educational. But we need to help build the economy of South Africa.
Yeah.
And what do? We create an E-Invest Summit. 2 days of bringing global capital to marry with green economy opportunities.
Yeah.
It's not just about creating a broader racing lane.
Yeah.
Or track. It's about cycle lanes.
Yes.
Jogging trails that are adjacent for 364 days of the year. So it's an enhanced experience for Cape Townians and for visitors. Remember, there's a lot of international people that are using that precinct too.
Sure.
So that's the track. But then, once the track's built, you've got all your track materials to consider. You've got your setup and your breakdown.
Yes.
Et cetera, et cetera. You've got your logistics. It's a, as you say, it's a big enterprise. We have fortunately done big projects globally before. We know what it takes. And the most important thing it takes is planning. And we've had 2 years of detailed planning. And we are now at the start. We are on the grid.
Yeah.
We still have a lot of work to do.
You have a lot of partners. We mentioned, just offhand, you mentioned Cape Town, Alan Windy in particular. What a great premier. There's many partners that make us, eligible for hosting this event. And without them, obviously, there'd be no Formula E in Cape Town. Those partnerships are crucial.
100%. And I want to say that at all times working with the city, as you say, Premier Windy, Alan Windy, unbelievable. I mean, the guy's he's so right for the job. He's making Cape Town, the Western Cape, I should say, more special every day.
Yeah.
There's stuff happening.
Yeah.
Secondly, at a city level, Leonora D'Souza, I'm sure you know Leo, who heads up the events team, they put on, I just saw 191 event permits in the last 6 months. To give you some idea, JP Smith, who she reports to, Mako for safety and security, but JP's incredible. He was there for us in a big way.
Yeah.
And then prior to our fabulous new mayor, Dan Plato, who was...
he was great.
Honestly, when we were stuck, because we did get stuck with the city, and it was something that frankly, internally they were battling to resolve. You got so many departments, and we were being told 2025. And I had a meeting on a Sunday morning with Dan, one-on-one, and just said, Mayor, please, we need your help. This is real. This is for Cape Town. This is going to make a difference for South Africa.
Yeah.
And he said, Ian, I give you my assurance, by Tuesday night, I'll have a SWAT team together. He got the finance director, effectively, Kevin, onto it. He got the SWAT team that worked on 2010 appointed. And here we are with the roads about to be built. So to Dan, a big thank you for what he did.
Yeah.
And of course now, the new mayor has just been introduced. We met, and he's a motor
Jordan's
fan.
Fantastic. We were in the same school together.
Oh wow, I wasn't aware of that. So he was there after you, or?
Marginally. It is so exciting chatting with you and catching up around Formula E. Ian, your thoughts finally on the vehicle we're in. I know you've had time before to spend in this vehicle, but every time I get into a product like this, the iX, I'm blown away. The comfort, the level of just how quiet this cabin is, how well made this product is. And of course here, a sign that BMW are also investing in the future by upcycling and recycling materials.
100% right. I mean, as you know, it so happened the little i3 that I bought 4 years ago, I'm in love with that car. Every day is exciting. Why? It's a completely different driving experience.
Yes.
It truly is. And it's not just the torque and the speed and all of that. The turning circle.
Yes.
Just the feel. It's incredible. And the fact that you're not generating gases and things into the emissions.
Spot on.
I'm excited by it. This is exceptional vehicle. I had the privilege of having the Jaguar 2,
Yes.
which is
That Jag is...
that I-Pace is incredible.
I-Pace, yeah.
Any electric car that you get, it
Yeah.
blows your mind. And people who haven't driven it are yet to experience that. So they're sort of maybe ICE, internal combustion engine kind of specialists
Yeah.
and lovers. But trust me, once you've experienced you've experienced something amazing.
Exactly. Iain, a huge thanks, I think, to you for your love of sport and your love and passion for this country, for coming back 15 years ago, seeing something that there was at that stage nothing, but in the back of your mind there were plans afoot to make and put South Africa on the sporting map once again, and you've done it through movement, e-mobility South Africa, e-movement South Africa. Here's to long live Formula E in South Africa, long live the e-movement.
I couldn't thank you more, Ryan. It's an absolute pleasure as always to be with you. And as we finish up, how's that? We've got paragliders just quietly jumping off Lion's Head.
Spectacular.
And it is a view, it's the most perfect day. How can you not love this place? It's infectious.
It's
just
absolutely
infectious. So to you, for your support, because you've been so important for us to have media exposure, and you've been one of the greatest at that, and we can't thank you enough, Ryan. It's been really special.
Lovely to have you.
Thank you, buddy.